computer. Okay, now we're recording. So,
Lovely.
all right. Yeah, so you're wanting to um tell me kind of about some of the things you're looking for in the reading. Some of the programs or alien stuff, or what are you open to learn about?
Something that I feel like I have been dealing with personally has been like a lot of actually when you said the word programs, like that word has been popping up a lot
Mhm.
in my life, and I feel like it's affecting many layers of who I am as a person, between like the things that I'm very passionate about in my life, mainly being like my writing. Like writing is like writing stories, writing novels has been something that has just felt like very spiritually choked lately. And I feel like it's like been affecting my love life for the majority of my life. Sorry. Rabid cats running around.
Oh yeah,
um
I have cats. I have cats and dogs too.
yeah. um
Aw, cute
yeah,
little kitty cat.
he's got the zoomies. um yeah, I think I and I've been like trying to educate myself a little bit on it. I've been this last year especially, I have been really diving deep into this whole world of like the law of attraction and like source energy, and a lot of like understanding deprogramming and how programs work and how things like that. So long-winded response, but yeah, pretty much.
hmm
I think
Did,
programs speak out to me.
did you look toward like any of the secret space program? Do you know what that is? The
I
secret
do not.
space program or alien, anything with alien when your childhood or anything like that? Do you recall?
I do not.
Okay. So something like with the secret space program is going to be when you were usually probably generational, with that. So it's going to be when you were born, then you're light. It's like all of us are kind of more light workers in a way when we come into this reality now, because we're needed to bring out the darkness, the light to shine on the darkness. Um, so with your mom, she was in the program and stuff too, so then you would be, because it's always generational. They just do that because you're going to have the same DNA, angelic DNA. So they're going to use those. Can I say anything and you're not, you don't care, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
literally not possible to say
Okay.
anything too out there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Like, say whatever. So it's just like they take our angelic DNA for our abilities, and then they use those abilities, like our psychic abilities, psionic abilities, your intuition, your all these things, your healing abilities, and they're gonna use those to put in all of these different clones. They make clones of us, in these programs. So it's like you're here, and then they abduct you, alien abduction, when you're little, and then taken over here to like a ship or an underground base. Then they're gonna be like I how I see it is they take a copy or so of your consciousness, or they clone your consciousness or something with our consciousness. And then they put you back over here and then erase time like nothing happens, So when you wake up, then you have no idea that anything just happened at all. Um, there's no missing time, you know. So then you wouldn't, a lot of people don't even know they're in the programs because of this, because there's no recall of it. So anyway, when you have all of these things going on over here though, in these pocket realities, or these um they'll sell up the consciousness too, to these other programs, and then they'll be able to put your consciousness in clones. So then it's like everywhere. There's like, the soul retrieval, how your mom does the soul retrieval, and you can find these aspects of you, and you're like, why am I thinking of, Mars or something with that? So it's might be like an aspect of you in that reality. So it's like all these realities you're experiencing, many aspects of you, but so it's trying to I don't know if we can ever retrieve all of them because they're in a program. They don't even know that they're programmed. It would look just like us, so it can go pretty deep with that, and can be kind of confusing with clones. So I didn't do you have any questions with that, or do you already kind of know about that with the
I no, I definitely have questions.
yeah,
Well, for one thing, that would explain why I'm tired all the time if there's a bunch of
yeah.
people
Oh,
using
okay. Hmm.
angelic DNA for other uses.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, definitely.
so
Yep.
so if it's generational, like, and you talk about like being abducted like when you're younger, like is that physically happening, or is it like a spiritual projection? Like, for instance, if it's happening when you're younger, like, is there a period of time in which your parents like don't know where you are, or like physically, or
It could be like some cases where they have like how the missing 411, how they are like they can find them within this time period and then they found them someplace else. So I
yeah.
think that those people go through a portal, like they're taken through like a portal opens and then they're taken. So in your bedroom at night, then they could have done that too. They could have come in and they have portal technology, the alien beings, or
Yeah.
Sasquatch or whoever, these interdimensionals have this portal technology so they can open a portal on your wall, take
Yeah.
you, and then go do the thing and then bring you right back. And you wouldn't
Yeah.
even know you were gone.
And like probably time doesn't work the same way in these other places. Like you could be gone for like just say like X amount of years, like 10 years, and it'd only be like 5 minutes and
Yeah,
somewhere.
it can be that way too. And they have advanced technology. They can stop time here and then take you like put it on pause and then go over here, do this stuff here, and then come back and then put you back and repause it. So you're just continuing on, with no memory of that at all because they wipe it. They'll
Mhm.
wipe it all. So you don't have any question. So you never know anything went on at all with these places, so you never question it,
Wow.
so yeah, so that's the exposing those things, but you said you're tired all the time, so
Oh, diabolically exhausted all
yeah,
the time. Yeah.
so do you ever see anything with going underground bases or being in like a some kind of a program where you're using your mental powers, where you're remote viewing things, or super soldier where you're battling, maybe where you're fighting, um or you feel like you resonate with certain kinds of movies. What movies do you generally like?
Interesting. I mean, what's weird is that I've definitely had dreams about like when literally like military underground bases,
Oh,
and this is
okay.
before. Think about. I mean, that's like it's so on the nose that it almost seems like, yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, definitely the type of movies that I've always resonated. Like Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie. They have a like a consistent theme of like probably good versus evil. Like The Hunger Games is a huge one for me too, which is like just all about like the government's killing children for entertainment and
Hmm.
control.
Hmm. So
Um,
do you really feel passionate about that then, with
yeah,
maybe child rescuing, if you hear something
yeah.
with that? Hmm.
One of the books that I have been basically trying to write since I was 12 years old is all about this. And I wrote so many books in my childhood. Like when I was in seventh grade, I wrote a 400-page book. When I was 18, I wrote like a 500-page book. And by the time I turned 19, I just lost all of my passion and for writing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been about 9 years since I've been writing, but that's like what I've always felt has been my calling supposed to be, especially when it was regarding themes such as these things, such I'm only now kind of figuring out why, because I was writing about these things before I really knew the reality of them, like,
Hmm.
and how much truth there was in the world and in my world. And I
So what
really
is the
feel
books? What kind of tell me about the books? or something in detail of what affected you or sparked you to write the books and about what or what?
Well, one of my books was it was like one like a it was a fantasy book, kind of put in like a magic and dragons world. About it was about this young girl who was living in poverty, and she was basically her when she was an infant, her father sold her and essentially into sex slavery, and where her mother was forced into prostitution after that. And that was and doing like the most diabolical, unspeakable things until she eventually escaped, became an urchin, and is she cuts off her hair and pretends to be a boy on a ship, and
Okay.
and
To to disguise herself so she's
to
not
disguise
found.
herself
Hmm.
and to um I mean it I guess in essence it essentially becomes like a heroic journey of her, like the world is wrong, like the mankind or humankind has just like put all these mortal beings into these horrible circumstances where they're draining all of the magic and light from the world in order to like feed a darker
Yeah.
essence, like children being enslaved. There's like people like I mean, there's a lot to scratch off the surface, like, but like, just turning the world into a barren wasteland to feed, I guess, something that would be synonymously like Satan.
Oh yeah. Or the energy of the children, like they're feeding off the energy of the children because it's like
Yeah,
more pure light.
and mothers being basically used as breeders to create more
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Yes.
her
Because
father is one of like the highest political leaders because him selling her has like bumped him up like up the political ladder.
yeah, that's what happened too in the before you even knew all this stuff was happening. Then it
I
was
wrote it when
to
I was
death.
12.
Wow. That's really something. Like,
And I try to like I feel like so much of what I'm doing on this earth is to like write these books, spread this message that I've had embedded into me. I mean, maybe it was me, and or maybe that is one of my clones in
your
another
aspects. Uh-huh.
world. I don't know, but I feel
Yeah.
like I have to. And every time I sit down to try and write my book, I'm filled with like I am so critical of myself. I'm
Oh,
filled with so much hatred towards everything
yeah.
that I write
Yeah.
that like I can't like I'm almost like feel like I start seizing. I get physically sick.
No, that's programming, too. That is inner programming and the things that they've embedded. Like if you talk about stuff, then we're going to do this or that. So then that stops you from doing your mission as well. So it's like you have to learn to ignore those voices, because they're not. That's not. That's just a voice. Because I have the same thing too. Like I write a whole bunch of cards. I do all these cards. And then one time I'll feel like throwing them all away. And I'm like, who would want to learn about this or read this or do
Yeah,
that? And
that's
I'm
exactly how
like,
I feel writing.
yeah. And I'm like, who would want to do this? And then I'll just start going through it and tossing it. And I'm like, why did I throw those away? That has some good artwork on it, like when I'm out of it. But I'll get that in that real negative state. And then so if you recognize that that's not that's not really you, like don't throw it away or do that. Just kind of take a break and then come back and when you're in a better mood. Like if you're
Yeah,
thinking those things, then just kind of take a break a minute and that what's your astrology sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm a Cancer, so we kind of water signs is kind of critical and so it's kind of emotional. Scorpio, not emotions in a different way though, as far as that goes. With
Yeah.
um very hard on yourself though too for perfection, perfectionist and stuff too, you
That
know.
is that has always been me.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Like I feel like I can't even write a paragraph because I'm like I can't allow it to be flawed. It's like I feel like it needs to be a number one bestseller paragraph the second I get the words out.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's not, it's like I feel like I'm almost like, and that wasn't like me as a child at all. Like I would write until my fingers were cramped and bruised. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just it
Yeah.
like it, I almost couldn't stop. Like I had
Yeah.
notebooks and notebooks and notebooks filled with like
Hmm.
longhand, filled with stories. I have probably thousands of pages that I have
Yeah.
written.
Do you have
Um,
those books still or those notebooks?
I have, yeah, yeah, they're actually all at my mother's house.
Yeah.
They're on the bookshelf somewhere, and I
Yeah.
have a bunch in my email. I just have,
Yeah.
and they were flawed. Like they obviously weren't perfect, but they were filled with just passion. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't they didn't I didn't care if it was good or bad. I was writing for myself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. So put yourself in that mind state still, because that's what the reader needs to connect with in that way, is that pureness or the when you might even read through those notes and stuff, your old books and stuff, and just kind of re-spark it, might reactivate that in you. Because sometimes we get blocked or we don't feel like doing this and we feel more kind of shut off, you know? Like I
yeah,
think everything is kind of shut off and then you start rereading stuff and or looking at things and then it reactivates you. You're like, wow, this is really good. I can't believe I did
yeah.
this,
I have, I have done that before, where I've
Mm-hmm.
looked at my stories, like where it's been enough time has passed where I can almost forget that I what I wrote in a way that I'm looking at from a reader's perspective as opposed to the writer's perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, I'm and so I'm like I'll just be like did I write this?
I
Like
know.
this is
Because
really
it's
good.
almost channeled in a way too, because you're so set on like getting it out. It comes out so quickly, and it's like almost like a channeled download of everything you're seeing, like you're in the story. So I
Yeah,
understand that.
as opposed to like when I try writing now, where I'm like
Yeah, I
like
know.
like
hmm
feeling like I'm just
Yeah,
being held back by wires on my hand. Like
yeah, yeah, I
it's
know.
painful. It's
Yeah,
very
because
painful.
not like it's not flowing through, I think. So it's
Yeah.
maybe re-looking at your books and kind of maybe even rereading them and then just maybe even have you published them?
No, I've
Oh
never
yeah,
finished. I've
you might
written.
you
Go
might
ahead.
do that. You might publish those because those are something that's happening in the world now or happening to many people, and they're like that will help a lot. So those things, maybe that's what you could do when you're not wanting to write, you know? That'd be
Is
good.
published old stories, you mean?
Publish your old stories, put them together in books or stuff or however.
Yeah, I mean, I've never finished anything. I've written a bunch of things, but I've never actually finished anything, even though I think some of them have been like, yeah, like about 500 pages. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it does. It's a weird sort of comfort rereading them too, because it's like that person, that girl has to be inside me somewhere. Like she
Yeah.
can't, she's not just gone, like it's there. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, there's like these blocks, or as you say, like these
Yeah.
programs that are in me to like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of like you have to be in the mood to do it too, you know what I mean? You have to be in the mood to want to write and then, you get busy or tired or however. So it's just the other things get in the way too, so but yeah, maybe you wrote all that in your childhood too. But I mean, there's more things going on now too. But I don't know what you're wanting to write about now. You want me to go through the cards and help you kind of see some of the stuff, and I'll explain some of the things because you might
that would
not know
be,
all the terms. So this
yeah.
is gonna say you have a sixth sense about stuff. So definitely with the cats around, cat people are always real sensitive
Oh, yeah.
to smells, to hearing, to seeing. So I would say you could hear things really like things that normal people don't hear. Like do you hear that noise? And they're like, what noise? Like
Hmm.
That noise just now. No. Or seeing stuff, maybe like, do you see anything like with mediumship, or maybe just, I think you like things to solve things in your mind. Like you
Hmm.
like to, you like when you're watching shows, you like to try to, you like it to challenge your thinking. Like, the
Oh yeah.
Criminal Minds or whatever that would be,
Yeah.
like like you can solve it. You like to be challenged in that way
I
to
really
keep your
like
interest.
analyzing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then with your abilities, I think it's more, you have a lot of psionic abilities. So the psionic is all the mental powers, like your seeing and your psychic awareness, intuitive, um, to where you could see stuff, like visionary, like create a vision board or something, like you're visionary, um, like very creative in that way, with how things, with with I just saw like a vision board and just created that, or whatever you're wanting to do, then you'll go get all the stuff to do it. Like if it's a scrapbook or something, then you'll go
Hmm.
get all the stuff that you need to do this, and then sit down and do it, like that kind of a thing. So,
Yeah. No, definitely. I used to scrapbook a lot.
oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this says access your Akashic records. So the Akashic is, what your Akashic records are and everything, like all the kind of the book of your whole entire existence almost, with all your realities and stuff too. I think you can access, I think the Akashic is going to be your past life stuff too, or other realities, however you want to say,
Hmm.
like with being a princess or whatever it is, and
Hmm.
finding out those things with,
I
mhm.
Yeah, I used to have dreams of going to like this giant library in the middle of the
Oh,
stars.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what that is, I think.
yeah,
That sounds like it, and then you're just
yeah.
like, where do I go? And then it takes you to where you need to go. And then what book do I get or whatever, whatever you're needing. Clear sentience is clear feeling and sensing energy. So it's gonna be, what do you relate with that? What do you take with that? With the sensing energy, could be a lot of things, but
Um,
kind of being like a cat almost too, with that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that res resonates with me just in terms of just like sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think, which I am like I am paralyzingly sensitive
Yeah,
sometimes.
I feel that. Mm-hmm.
I've described it as like every small gust of wind feels like a hurricane to me sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
it can be a lot. It can be extremely overstimulating to like be in even just like minor circumstances, or not minor, but under what would seem like an underwhelming circumstance can feel very overstimulating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and you kind of, how do you pull yourself out of that? Because some, because some people, like my mom is a Scorpio and she can get so mad about something. And I'm like, Mom, uh, just kind of calm down a little bit, how, like, what is going on? Oh, I'm mad at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not going to change, you can't do nothing about, because Scorpios like control of stuff too. So it's, if they can't control their reality and then the things around it, then it's really frustrating, like, like that way. So they take care of everything. So then it's all done, like
Mhm.
I just do it all myself because I know it'll get done, I'm not going to tell someone else to do it because I don't know if it's going to get done. And then I'm like, why aren't you hurrying up and doing it like I asked you to do this, So it's like they,
Right.
they need to have that kind of control. So maybe things that are out of control that you can't control, like the weather or whatever, traffic, other people, then it's something to look at. Like I'm just gonna go over here, and just be by myself because that I can't control those people or don't even go to those places, where there's a whole
Mhm.
bunch of bickering or something because I think you feel it like it's like goes into your like your whole chest stomach area, like you feel it and you're just like gonna scream, something
Mhm.
like that. Like it's like a feeling of that when it's something like trying to figure it's different things too. It's not just the same stuff either. Because sometimes it seems like one thing can affect you, and then the next time it doesn't affect you as much, Like the same thing doesn't always affect you the same way, It just depends on the energy of it, how it feels.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, like going to the mall, Christmas shopping, you'd be like, hell no, I ain't
Oh,
even doing
oh,
that.
I hate malls. I
Yeah.
hate like I
Uh-huh.
can't. I am barely standing by like after like 20
Hmm.
minutes of being in a mall.
Yeah. Because you're
It
just like, oh my God,
yeah,
get
because
me
like
out of here.
I have not perfected a defense about just protecting myself in my
Hmm.
energy field. And often a part of the reason why I ever feel like negative emotions, I think, is because I'm sucking up so much bad
Yeah.
energy that isn't
Hmm.
even mine.
Right.
That like
Yeah.
so that I start feeling whatever they're feeling, and I'm like, why am
Yep.
I like why am I
Yeah.
feeling like this? Like this doesn't belong to me. This has
Yeah.
root.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no root in my own issues.
Because
So
you're like a cat, and those cats, they help you too with the grounding or kind of, they absorb some of the energies too to assist you, in
mm,
that way. When you're feeling overstimulated and you don't like
yeah.
out of control in a way, like, oh, I don't know, you know,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you just want to maybe find an outlet to go, and maybe if it's the gym or running or walking or jumping on a trampoline or something to exert that energy because it's like an intense fast like energy, that you just feel through your body, but it's like something that you absorbed in the environment or something that happened in the dream time, maybe something like that too. So, and you just don't, because I can see you would be with the super soldier kind of thing with uh I don't know if you do anything with guns. I don't do anything with guns in this reality, but I know I will do that in the super soldier with, it's more of a psionic maybe weapon of something. I don't know. It's just like shooting maybe the pedophile people or something in that way, like that way. That's how I kind of look at it because I'm like, wait, I don't want to shoot anybody, I don't want to shoot like nothing because I don't. But then that is different in that reality, you're like in a war thing. They put you in your program to go and take out the target and then you come back, but I can see you like in a team, like if it's a SWAT team looking thing, where they would take you like a group and then go and do this and then they would return you and wipe your mind, So I don't know if you remember anything with that, with anything with it looks kind of like a small team, but what that you would work with. There's a particular like a guy who I'm thinking of is that Channing Tatum or Tatum, whatever his name, Tatum Channing. You know who that is in that step up? He looks like
Channing
him.
Tatum, I think his name is.
He looks like him in that figure, like a super soldier guy coming in and he kind of talks to you in that way because you're very sarcastic too. You're like, I'm not going, and then or something. So he's like, okay, well, let's go anyway, So like that sarcasm, like you can go ahead and go. I'm not going, or why don't you just stuff it, because I'm, so things like that. So I can see that you work good with guys a lot. You like the guy energy because they're not overreactive. They're grounded. They're more calm feeling to you, Then the
Yeah,
girl that's like, you're like, ugh, I don't want that energy. So
yeah.
it is hard to find good friends that are girls because most of them are like, tell me everything. And I'm like, no, Don't talk to me till I'm ready to come out of my crab shell,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I mean that's pretty on the nose.
Hmm.
I'm a very open person. Like I'm pretty good at articulating my emotions and my thoughts most of
Right.
the time. I do take a long time to come out of my shell, usually to people,
Hmm.
at least in like a very intimate way.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, no,
Hmm.
I resonate with that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Being by yourself is easier
Mhm.
because
Yes,
then you don't have to uh it's just exhausting to have to explain or just try to go and do something with someone that you'd rather just be at home and doing your own thing. And that feels
yeah,
much more comforting, like I don't want to go to a restaurant and go eat and do all that. That doesn't sound fun at all, like that feels really a lot of anxiety to have to do all that. So,
hmm
mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've always described myself as an introvert who's really
Mhm.
good at being extrovert. Because I can be, but like the way that I recharge my batteries and the way that I'm happiest is in my own space, in my own energy, and doing
Mhm.
my and the control thing as well. I like having control over my environment. And not that I don't
Mhm.
like being around people, but like when
Mhm.
other people's energy goes into the it gets into the formula, then it becomes a little less easier
Intense.
to
Yeah.
control the environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Scorpio is very intense too, with that. Like, I don't know, why is she doing that? Like I just can't be there, like some things bother them so much, it's like could be anything really, just depends on the mood they're in too, because it's they can I know that you can be nice and polite to people and stuff like that, but you really would rather focus on doing your work and getting it done so you can do your own thing after too, or so it's all kind of controlled. Like you can, like my mom, she goes to bed at the same time, so she likes to, like there's a control of stuff, she likes, like, do it. She has you could find her on a time, on a clock, she gets up at 5, goes to bed at 7, does the, you know what I mean, like there's like all control.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm very routine based as well. Like one of my
routine. Hmm.
pet peeves is like when plans change.
Yeah.
Like I've already set myself up completely mentally, emotionally, spiritually for whatever the plans are. So when things shift, it's like I have to adapt all over again
Yeah.
to every
Yeah.
so
Yeah, if
yeah.
it's like something big, like going to a concert or something like a Christmas
Yeah.
or something, and then they're like, no, we're going to do it the following week. And you're like, well, I'm not going to be able to come then now because I was
That's
already
exactly me.
excited about doing it and I'm ready. And then next week, I
Yeah.
probably won't feel the same energy,
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
that's
kind of like that. Yeah.
that is exactly me to a T.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
if I agree to do something, it's because I am saying yes because I am okay with it in the current state that I'm in at the
Hmm.
moment,
Yeah.
and I'm not
And
banking on feeling that same way the
hmm
next time it
yeah.
comes.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you change the schedule and then the energy is going to be completely different. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, then I don't know what to tell you because I probably won't be there, you know?
Exactamundo. Yeah.
Hmm. So this is light language. I write this stuff too. So I don't ever know if you doodle. So this is kind of compared to a doodle, but it's not. It's more of a channel, like information or energy. Because I'm a Reiki, Karuna Reiki master, which is like how your mom takes that Reiki master, with the symbols and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
with Reiki, they give you symbols and it's like energy, that just that's like a tools, these, like, for instance, like this is one of the Reiki symbols is zonar, and you're like, what the hell is zonar? But then it does things like clears cellular level or past life issues. So each symbol holds information, like that. So that's how the light language doodling, things, and it's like your kind of your soul message, or automatic writing too. Can be automatic writing. People do that too, but they kind of draw and it's automatic. Or writing too is kind of automatic, because you're in that state and it's like a channel. And then it will shut off for me too. Like I'm like when it shuts off, then I'm like I can't even write anymore. It just feels like I'm just like you said, like you're just typing like that. And
Mhm.
so that's how I do. I have books of this light language and my ET. I draw alien stuff a lot too, alien artwork. So maybe some will be in here. So see how I have different ones. So these are all at different times too that I write. I don't know what the translations are because it's more of a channeled energy that I'm, from, I could say higher self or guides, my ET guides, or however, it could be the animal feline that are in another reality.
Yeah.
So you're a warrior, and that would be in all places too, because it'd be like so I don't know if you had like a flash or resonate with anything like with the Viking warrior, like those Valkyrie women, like that kind of a thing, because that's
Mhm.
kind of how you have the energy of like the Valkyrie, like that, where they
I am.
paint, huh?
I
You
said I
what?
am Danish. My ancestors are Vikings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then that's it. That's the in the bloodline. That's like oh yeah, that's powerful too. Call in your full power. So that could be for all your things, your animals, your higher self, your guides, your however you want to, whatever you want to uh call in. Do you do the look at animal guides and stuff too, like animal totems or however?
Yeah, I mean, not as like consistently as I probably should, but like,
Hmm.
no, even today, because I had I keep on bringing up dreams that I've had, but dreams are very prevalent to
Hmm.
me and my spirituality. It's some dream about a tiger last night, which I used
Tiger.
to that I like shape shifted into one. But
Okay.
dragons are also very prevalent to
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
with the dragon, it seems like that's a reality too, like a like like a I don't think it's like it seems like another place. It goes to it goes to another world of reality, almost like the Lord of the Rings kind of like a fairy tale where you can fly on the dragon, like that kind of a place.
mhm.
So where that is, there's some worlds that you would be able to do that. So I think that you would have like a dragon as your as a that would be around energetically that would be like your friend, family member. Like there seems like a lot of them. They seem like almost like a dog. How dog is like your pet. So it seems like it
Yeah.
could come and lay down on your lap and you would pet it, like that kind of a dragon. And then it could get really big and go and uh, burn down whatever you told it to. So yeah. And then what was the other one that you said? The dragon and then the shape shifted into a tiger. So that's that's one of the things with this with your DNA too, able to shapeshift. You're able to shapeshift. Yeah, into probably whatever you wanted to take on. You could just blend in with it, like you could look at the animal there and then just turn into it to disguise yourself. So, and then with the tiger too, that they're warriors. So in these other places like Sirius, the star Sirius or Orion, Pleiadian, there's a lot of tiger humanoid. They're like humanoid tigers. So What do you think with that, with the humanoid tiger kind of?
I think interesting. Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I've never, I've had, I have had dreams about shape-shifting a lot. I mean, I remember one specifically as a tiger, but I've had a lot of dreams about actually being a dragon as well. One of
Hmm.
the happiest dreams I've ever had. They haven't been humanoid. I've never really, I don't think that's processed. I don't think I've come across a humanoid version of it,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
um
So you shapeshift into like the walking on fours or just their face of a
walking
tiger.
on fours, like very much like
Hmm.
um the animal itself as we know it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, there's three specific dreams I remember having in terms of shape. One is like being a little cat walking through a dark woods, another being a tiger running through the jungle, climbing up trees, and another being a dragon singing and roaring and crying at the same time, flying over mountains and rivers and forests.
Hmm. It
Um,
seems like a land that you would travel to a lot with the dragon. Like that's your safe place almost in a way too.
it
Like
was the
that
happiest dream
reality.
I had. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. What's this say with the eagle? So if you see, do you see any eagles there at all when you're like doing what outside? So the eagle is the power of the great spirit and connection to the divine, the eagle medicine. Like with birds, do you feel because eagle is kind of
I love
pretty.
birds
Mm-hmm.
because they remind me of reptiles.
Oh, okay. You like reptiles a lot
Yeah.
too?
Well, they're
Mm-hmm.
little dinosaurs. I know I love birds. I actually think I
Yeah.
saw uh, a bald eagle a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Um, I mean,
Yeah.
I adore birds, all the ones from the majestic ones like the eagle to the dopey ones like the pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
get I get very excited when I see birds.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like a stasis pod. So the stasis pod is like say they have like these stasis pods where it's like you're in a state of being like the Avatar movie, you know how he
Hmm.
gets into that stasis pod and then his consciousness is put into a avatar body. So that's kind of how it is. So you would maybe have that experience of yourself is in that stasis pod and then your consciousness is in these different bodies. It could be like a 3D printed body that you wanted to fit in with the tigers, or you wanted to be a dragon. So you put your consciousness or project your consciousness into the dragon so you can be in a dragon body and experience how it is to live like a dragon, so you can also do that. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's really, that's I think we do that probably a lot to experience these other realities. And then we feel like, hey, I've been that before, but it's like our consciousness has been in that body, when we fit into that reality and stuff too. So,
Yeah.
and you remember all of that too, because it's a piece of you. So this is going to be, um, Antarian, what does it say? Antarian's large red mantis. So do you like the praying mantis? Do you have any kind of Antares is the star system in the Scorpio constellation, and it's like it's these are high, they're not physical mantis, they're more non-physical and they're very intelligent, geneticists, analytical, they're high uh energy, so they're not physical like we are here in the like a 3D reality, so they don't really interact much with humans that much because it's more, that's not relatable. But you might have a connection with the praying mantis in that place, and you're also Scorpio, so yeah, that might be something you resonate with.
I won't say that I like have deeply resonated with praying mantis over that I can think of in my life, but I will say I do like when you said that, I was reminded of this thing that happened to me. I think I was like in fourth grade, and it was on a school field trip, and maybe it was a praying mantis. I don't know. It looked more like an ant actually,
Hmm.
but I was on a school field trip and we were staying overnight at this farm, and I will like never forget this. It was like I was dreaming, but I wasn't, like, and we were all sleeping on the floor, and I saw this like huge bug that was just walking in between all of me and the other slumbering girls, and it like was like almost like magma red and orange. It was huge. It was
Hmm.
not, I mean, I think I remember being like alarmed, but I was like, it didn't have a malevolent energy to it
Hmm.
at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
um I don't think it was a praying mantis, but I don't know, when you said
An
something,
ant. Hmm. Yeah.
a bug, it like, I remember it kind of looking like an ant,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
like it was, I don't know, it was some sort of like bug alien.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, something like that. And
Was that in New Mexico with your mom? Like, has she always lived in New Mexico, or did y'all live
yeah,
in?
this was in New Mexico, yeah, at
Hmm.
fourth. It was like this farm that was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like this thing that the fourth graders did, like where they like went out to the farm and they did farm work and spent the night there.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Because
yeah.
like on the petroglyphs, how they have the petroglyphs there in New Mexico, and they
Mhm.
have they all those written like on the walls, a lot of ant people, you know,
Yeah.
hmm with
And
the
I think
Navajo and
one
stuff.
of them.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
And it's probably I don't know if it was more of a higher dimensional because you said it felt more higher, like positive, like not negative, just
No,
kind of a light
if
almost.
anything, it was more than curious. I think it, like, there was almost kind of a feeling of it like checking on us, but it was like kind of passing through, like
Mm-hmm.
just looking, just looking
Yeah.
around. Like, I remember looking at it and just being like a little freaked out, but not really afraid.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, because they can project that too, like they can sense the energy and then they can make it to where everybody's not afraid or asleep or kind of in a like like you're paralyzed almost, like so you
mhm.
don't scream or get up or nothing like that. So maybe they was just like scanning over everybody there, in that way, walking through. Might have been a native that lived like a native ant person that lived close to that area too, but that they live
Mhm.
underground, like the ants do.
Yeah,
So they could have been that farm could be on their where underneath the farm could be their home. So they
yeah,
probably come up to that area all the time and just kind of see what's going on too.
yeah.
Yeah.
A huge likelihood. Yeah.
And then these are different cards. The immersion program, that's that pod technology. That's the consciousness that I was telling you with the stasis pod. So this is going to be to where you would have yourself as maybe say you was like a different species, if you was an alien type species, and then you wanted to learn what it's like to be an ant on Mars or something or wherever else, or be whatever in another place. So you would be in this stasis pod, and you would project your consciousness into a body, a vessel that's empty, that's already empty. And then so you would have your consciousness there and you would live a life as a human or whatever, and it could be live a full life, or you could just go and experience it for just this time, like that too. So there's so much stuff that we aren't taught, or anything like that. So I think
Yeah.
that program is, I mean, I would want to experience that for sure, Yeah. And here's the praying mantis again.
Uh,
Yeah.
he's
What
got some
is,
day.
yeah. Oh, the kitty. Oh,
Right.
so sweet. It's a
Andre.
baby.
Yeah.
Like, is it boy or girl?
He's a boy.
A
His name is
boy.
Andre. Yeah.
Andre. Aw, he's so sweet.
Yeah, he's a real love bug.
Yeah, he comforts you, huh? Like a heart connection. And this is time for abundance in my life. Abundance could be anything you want to, could be money, whatever abundance is, abundant of something, So
Mhm.
time for abundance. No more stagnation.
No more
Oh,
stack.
I haven't seen her in the cards ever. So this is a new card. I never drawn her before. So this might be someone or maybe a reminder, not exact, but um she seems Pleiadian, in the from Orion or something. Orion Pleiadian, like a hybrid kind of being, maybe something
It's
like that.
it's because she's so alien, but is
Yeah.
so Americanized too.
Yeah. Yeah, because those a lot of them have, they because she kind of looks like a cat too. So could be multiple things there. Yeah. So that's different. I haven't seen her in the cards. And this is like a ship, like a galactic ship or so, say, and those are little things are like what kind of flies through there, lives in there, parks or however,
Mhm.
maybe like a mothership um that you report to, that you're taken to for meetings. So maybe sometimes if you ever recall maybe seeing like how I see it is like a shopping mall that's what the inside of the ship looks like, is how a shopping mall looks, but it's not like the clothes and stuff. It's just places where people, like the food court area where they kind of meet, but then the rooms are like meeting rooms, that there's council meetings and stuff, that things is going on in other places around the galaxy, kind of like it's kind of like um I would say kind of like a counselor to these other races. Maybe they're not getting along, so these these like council people would be called in to mediate to try to help these others work out their problem so they can solve it. So it's a lot of that too. I can see you being that it's like a diplomat in space, galactic diplomat. So this is clear seeing, clear seeing. Like, you know, especially with you have a lot of different things. It's like layers of stuff with your sensory, with seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and knowing, all of those. And then your heart is for like the animal stuff, with animals, or really animals, and your like art, kind of all your creative stuff. Or I just see that you really like watching those movies to where you have to really think of what's gonna happen. What are they gonna
Mhm.
do? Kind of solving the problem. I just see you doing like liking those movies a lot. Did you watch ever the Fringe, that TV series Fringe?
French.
Fringe, the
French.
Fringe, Fringe, or
No.
or the X Files. Did you like anything like with the X Files?
Um,
What kind of shows do you really gravitate toward that you like to sit and solve?
I don't really watch shows as regularly as I do, or wait, as regularly as I did. Um, like I don't know. I think that the shows that I generally like are a little bit more character based and story based. Like I do like things that make me think, but I've
Hmm.
never like been huge on crime mystery, but I do like things that make me think, like philosophy or
Oh,
like
okay.
or
Hmm.
like human, I don't know, like the human heart, the human condition. Like I'm very analytical of things, but like
Mm.
in a more emotional way, if that makes sense. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm very heady about analyzing the human condition. I
Oh,
guess
okay.
it's
Like a nurse? Are you a nurse? Like you could be like a nurse or, like that wise, you mean?
no, I don't think I fit into the nurse archetype, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like like I like learning about things, like about topics about all perspectives.
I see. Yeah.
Like even if I don't agree with it, it's like I really like debating, and I like understanding. I really like understanding how things work, and like using all parts of something to kind of create my own opinion about it,
Mm-hmm.
if it makes sense. Like even if it, even if it's like something I don't entirely agree with, I still want to learn everything about it, so that, because I'm sure that there'll be something that can contribute to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a big opinion about it. That sounds very wordy, but
Yeah,
that's,
like a deep thinker, huh? Really deep thinker
I
with
would like to
stuff.
think
Mm-hmm.
so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, but it just humans absolutely fascinate me, and so shows that are able to portray and articulate the most raw and real essence of them, I really enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
uh,
like the just this part of it though. You don't want to be a nurse. You just wanted to
no.
know all about the heart. And that's
Yeah.
all. You don't want to go and be a heart surgeon or nothing like that. You
No,
just you
no,
just
no.
wanted to master this whole like you like I just have to learn about this
Yeah,
and why it is and what is you know. So yeah.
yeah. I like, I just like knowing how humans work, and finding out the ways that we're all similar to each other, because like we're all having a very um like there's this word sonder. It's one of my favorite words. It's like it's the understanding that every random passerby in your life is having as just an intricate and detailed experience as you are.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff is just very, it's just very fascinating to me,
Mm-hmm.
because we all feel like we can all feel so isolated in our experiences, both in like our joy and our grief. And when you, through like the lens of art, you realize that in so many ways we're not so different, and we're having like the same, in many ways having the same exact experience. And I think that that helps a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
too.
Yeah.
uh,
To relate, to kind of open up, to be kind of say hi to someone who just like to be more open a little bit.
yeah, I
Like,
think it heals people.
mm-hmm.
You feel less alone in your
Mm,
experience.
yeah. All right. And then we got the um
Tur-
turquoise. Yeah, the stone, like maybe a ring or necklace or so. Like the Navajo, really. Remember how the Navajo
yeah,
would use that for protection?
yeah, I have a turquoise ring.
And the alien contactee. So this looks like that farmhouse. I just thought of that.
Ow.
Yeah, like those probably ants are probably inner Earth or something, like they're or interdimensional, and then they just travel to that area.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's wild.
This is Jupiter moon base. So on Jupiter, there's those all their moons, and then they have like the meetings. Many people talk about meeting, like there's galactic meetings on Jupiter. So it's kind of, and I try to ask them like, what are we doing? So it's not a lot of people talking about it. They just talk about meetings on Jupiter, and it's like emissary kind of or diplomat kind of meetings of different things. So I think we're busy doing this diplomatic stuff in space in these meetings and, you know, find out what this species is doing or how you can help to raise up their population. So it's a lot of things like that too. That would be kind of cool. All right. And this is Project Surrogate. So this is like with the Germans, they had a project where the mothers were the breeders, like you was talking about in your kind of earlier, with the mothers being the breeders and having babies that were um like the German men would give their DNA to make, like impregnate the women, not like sex but just like through insemination, and then these mothers would have babies, and then the babies would be put into these homes that be raised by German people and raised a certain way of thinking, so that's the project surrogate. But the surrogate can be kind of any program too, like that, with you being born from a mother who is like not it would be like an adoption. You would be given to another adopted family, to be raised like
Mm-hmm.
like that. So that might interest you. Some of this stuff might just be an interest or something that you've seen in these other realities, of that.
Yeah.
And this looks like an ant. Yeah, the ant. So these things can happen as well with the MI6 agent. So this is going to be like one of the um MI6 is like where you're a spy, you know, where you would be kind of like how this would be almost in a disguise, and then watching, so you might not even know this is like a aspect of you or so, and so you would be programmed. Have did you ever see that show Alias? Have you saw that with Jennifer Garner, that show Alias, where she wears all
Mhm.
these different disguises to go on these different missions, and she's like a spy or assassin or however, so it's like something like that. These are other aspects, and this is you're the jackpot. That's cool. I like getting that card.
I am back.
Yeah. Yep. And this seems kind of playful, um, like a playful energy most. Oh, this is the Native American guides. Do you ever see that? You have a Native American spirit guides? Have you seen them before?
Maybe again, I keep on thinking about all these dreams that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember having a dream about being in a pond, and there was like this hollowed out tree underneath the pond, and
Mm. Wow.
I was inside of the tree. It was like all, mossy algae, like it had been there probably for a while, and it was completely hollowed out. So it was like a wooden tunnel underneath the water, and I was like wrestling with a with a snake in it and getting bitten repeatedly. I was probably like I don't even think I was a teenager yet when I had this dream. I remember there's a lot of dreams that still stand out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who I was talking to. It could have been, I don't know. I remember hearing at some point some Native American explanation for it, the lore, the mythology, like the significance of snake bites.
Oh, okay.
Um, Again, that's the thing, because like I can't say that I can think of a Native American guys at the top of my head, but that's the thing that came to my
Mm-hmm.
head. Said
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like a
that.
guide, huh? Like your guide. So this is clear knowing, recognition, clear knowing of things, a knowingness. This seems kind of like the ant, almost like an insect kind of thing.
There's my buddy.
Yeah, seems really nice. That's a stone there. I think it's gonna be more for, how come I can't read back? Emotional balancer. It's like that reddish color. You
Mm-hmm.
might look for that. Kind of helps, like it's kind of pink and black or something like that. I got clear taste. So as we already talked about it. So with the clear taste, what do you think that would be more of? Like clear taste, would a taste remind you of something or um
Um,
I tried to think of what that is.
when I think of, I don't know, what comes to my head for some reason is not necessarily water, but like some purifying, I don't know, something that is untouched by toxicity, something that is pure
Mm-hmm.
to be taken into the system that does no damage to you, which I guess like purified water would be like that. I don't know. That was the
Yeah,
first
I can
first
see
thing that
that. I can see what you mean.
like almost taking the phrase literally, but
So what is the raven? So this is another you talk about the birds and stuff, but the raven bringer of magic. That seems like it's the yeah, that really seems to resonate too. I think that resonates with a lot with the Scorpio because the Scorpio, they're kind of the darkness in a way too, because it's more like a face in the shadows as being like a Scorpio too. Like you can look at all this dark stuff and you're not as affected by it, as some people would be like, but you like
Mhm.
to go deep into the subject, you know?
Oh
hmm
yes, yeah.
Now the Wolverine. So this is gonna be like able to maybe shape shift into the Wolverine or wolf in other places. So I don't know if you've seen that. A Wolverine or a wolf um shapeshifter or something with that. With your probably your family lineage. This that the wolf, the giant is that Fenrir, that wolf, you know? hmm
The what? The paneer?
The wolf that's like the Viking wolf, the symbol for wolf
Uh,
on
yeah,
the rune, so it's like
yeah,
they like the wolf a lot.
yeah, yeah. I when I was younger, I think I had a huge affinity with wolves. It became
Yeah.
more feline in adult life, but
hmm
um, I had like an imaginary friend who I.
Oh, your mom talked about that tonight too with the
Oh,
wolfie. Yeah,
you talk
because
about Wolfie?
we was talking about
I had
spirit
my
guides. Yes.
like
Uh-huh.
yeah that
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
I would really talk to him on my hand, Wolfie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what she said too. She said, yeah, like in childhood we associate those stuffed animals and stuff with like animal totems or spirit guides or protectors. So she said that you had a wolf that you talked to your hand and even looked like a wolf, like it
Mhm.
with your
Yeah.
hands. Oh, the spider totem. So this is gonna be
Oh.
like the infinity. You know how they have the infinity symbol? That's kind of like
hmm
their
Yeah.
and here's some light language. It's just more of an energy kind of thing. Oh, it's like a portal. Seems like it's a portal going into wherever reality, another reality that ever you're thinking about, like a dream world or something. Could be even be like the lower or the higher, wherever you want. Yeah. Oh, this has a ninja aspect. Do you see yourself like tumbling and doing those things and they like in it as a another person would be, like if it's like a dream or something, do you ever see that where you would be like a ninja person, like battle like Mortal Kombat kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
love yeah, but I mean Buffy is one of my favorite TV
Yeah.
shows of all time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's yeah, I like the physicality and the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um yeah.
Exerting that energy too, like the pushing like psionic too, like that with if you had the power that came out of your hands to push something too, like that. And then they fly back. This is a waterbender, the
Mhm.
avatar. So it's like able to manipulate the water element, so you could bring it up and or just see it in your mind, if you was gonna do something and see if you could maybe send it to somewhere, if something was needed, like if there was a fire, like a waterbender could pull it up and then send it to that place or something.
Hmm.
Manipulating the elements. You have
Oh,
clones in many realities.
oh, good.
Yeah. Yep. I think a lot of us do. This is alien abduction occurred in childhood. Yeah, so this would be taken into like I was saying, taken when you were little and then abducted out of the time or put it like they come into like a portal or interdimensionally and just take you and then do the whatever and then put you back, you know? And then you're waking up and you say, I feel tired, or something like 'cause you would feel tired. And some kids get like bloody noses or something like that too from I think it's from the implants, like they would put implants or something in kids to monitor their health and stuff too, or track like we track cows and stuff or dogs. We have the tracking things.
I used to get a lot of migraines.
Oh, okay. The telos is like that. It's blinking too. Usually when it like blinks, it means truth. Like it's the ancient Lemuria, colony beneath Mount Shasta. Have you been to Mount Shasta before?
No, I'm not. I don't even remember where that is.
As in the California.
Oh.
I believe so. Yeah, California. And it's like the inner earth though, inner earth, and it's like a what Lemuria and Atlantis, those
Hmm.
times Atlantis, so it's kind of like a realm inside there. It's the inner Earth civilization, so it's going to be more higher dimensional beings, in that way for healing. Like if it's like a high priestess, even like the dragons and stuff might even you might look that up and see what's on the TELOS because it seems like that might be kind of where some of those dragons are and the fairy kind of the things that you're seeing because it's kind of the elf beings, with the ears and stuff, kind of the Lord of the Rings people look, like that. And here's some more light language. What's on? You have a tattoo right here on your arm. It looks like that.
My little Viking symbol.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
To be honest, it was a spur of the moment decision. It's supposed to be a Viking rune that means to create,
Oh,
and
okay.
I put it on my right hand because I'm
Creative.
right-handed,
Uh-huh.
and
Create.
yeah,
See?
and like
Yeah, that's
writing.
cool.
So
That's the symbol is like a light language kind of thing to activate it. It gives
yeah.
an activation. So that's what these are here. And then this is the last one, Montauk training. So the Montauk is like how the movie, did you watch Stranger Things? That movie,
Mm,
Stranger Things? So that's kind of based off of the Montauk Project, where they take all these kids and then they, bring out all of their psionic abilities, just like that 11 girl, and they make them do things with their mind and stuff. So that's what Montauk is.
yeah. Stephen King writes a lot about that, probably because he does it.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah, that was like his novel, the Institute.
Oh, okay. I
It
didn't
was,
know
it
that.
was exactly like that. It was about this institute where they killed these kids' parents and then brought them to this institute and performed these terrible abilities on terrible things upon them to try and draw out their psychic abilities. And they would
Yes.
kids addicted to cigarettes, to alcohol. They gave them like tokens if they were good so that they could buy alcohol. And
Oh,
they always promised them that they could go home, but
yeah. Never
yeah,
home.
they would like go deeper and deeper into this more radioactive place where they would use their abilities to like kill people around the world.
Yeah, yeah, like assassinate them and open up portals with their mind, and then they could just go in and remote view, like a remote viewing kind of thing, and assassinate people, with their
Yeah,
mental powers.
yeah,
Hmm. That's what
yeah.
they do. That is the truth. I'm sure he's given that, because it is. a lot of his books are seem true, you know?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. They are
But
terrifying.
yeah, yeah, so do you want me to put this on YouTube or do you want me to
Yeah.
keep it?
I've
Okay.
been feeling it out there the whole time, and yeah, I
I think it
definitely,
might help a lot of people, you know,
yeah,
because with their questions and stuff too, because I think it helps you see a lot, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, you're like, I don't know. But then when you start to kind of relax into it, kind of like, oh, wow, yeah, you know, I did see this and that, you know. So
yeah,
that's why I kind of like to do these. It really helps with that, you know, with
because
the,
it takes just like one person hearing it for it to like spark that truth in them, and then like so on
hmm
so forth, domino effect of affecting other people and awakening up other people. So I
yeah,
like,
and stories and images of things in our mind, you know, that we explain, and like the lower world, like you said, like the in the lake and in the tree, you know, people have seen those things too. That they're like that. I thought that was a dream, but maybe it wasn't a dream. You know, maybe that's something that happened like in other aspect or astral, or you know, you just it's just a just knowing that your dreams and stuff are actual things that you experience, you know? So you could
yeah,
write a book on all your dreams, you know, that you remember, even though they don't have a full story, they're just like images of things that you remember, you know? And that helps spark things too, you know?
yeah,
Because I don't know if we're ever given the full story, you know, that's maybe that's why we're always like, I want to know everything, you know? And, but that's in this world, you know?
hmm,
But yeah, so okay, well, I'll put this on YouTube and I'll send you the copy though, so you'll have the copy of it to watch whenever you want to. So
okay, that would be lovely.
yeah, thank you for doing this. So it helped
Thank
me
you for
too.
doing.
Every one
Yeah,
of them helps me as well, connecting, like you said, connecting with others and stuff too, you know, and going, seeing new ways of thinking and new perspectives and stuff too. It
mhm.
gives me, it gives me information too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. So much
Yeah.
of this resonated with me so deeply. So it's thank you.
Good.
Thank you so
Good. Okay.
much.
We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.